Hey you guys, my name is Joey, if you already know me, and welcome back to my channel. And as you can see by today's title, I'm going to be telling you guys my crazy Uber story time. Because I'm still convinced the guy tried to kidnap me. I don't care. I am. So, anyways, if you're new to my channel, or if you're not new to my channel and you haven't done so already, please hit the red subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified every single time I upload another viral video. Thanks. And so, now without further ado, let's get on into the video. My mom decided that I should get a regular job for experience. I did tell you guys that in a previous video, I think. So if you guys haven't seen that already, you should guys go check that out because it's crazy. And in a previous video, I discussed, you know, how I managed going to school with having all this money and things like that.
Nobody cares.
So my brother's friends had come up that Wednesday, because they wanted to go to a water park. They came up from New York. I've known my brother's friends since I was like in 4th grade and I'm going to 11th. So I've known them for quite a while. My mom became friends with my brother. We lived in the same building when we lived in New York. And so yeah, my brother knew him. My mom met his friend's mom. They became friends and now they come up here to Pennsylvania to visit us all the time. So they came up on that Wednesday and they wanted to go to the water park on Thursday. I had to work Thursday from 2 to 8, and so I had already gone to the water park like a million times with friends and family, and so I was just like, go ahead, I've already been 1,000 times, go enjoy yourselves, have fun. It was Kalahari. As you guys know, Kalahari is expensive, and so you know, I was like, go ahead, have fun, stay the whole day. Okay, so, yeah, so my mom always drives me and picks me up from work. My mom couldn't pick me up from work because they were going to Kalahari and they wanted to stay the whole day. So I was like, okay, I'll just take an Uber home, no big deal, no problem. So about, I want to say, I have a pimple, I can feel it, it really hurts. But I want to say about maybe 15-20 minutes, I called my Uber to tell them like, hey, I'm getting off. Not for 20 minutes, it was like 15 minutes. I called my Uber and, you know, because I was getting off soon and I had to go home. I was not trying to sit there for 15 minutes waiting for the Uber at 8 o'clock. So I called them in advance so when 8 o'clock hit, I can just get out and go. But I'm sure, as you guys know, if you've ever worked in a fast food restaurant, when you guys get a rush, you are not allowed to just jump offline and go home. You have to stay and help. You can stay clocked in, but you have to stay and help until the rush is over. And if anyone doesn't know what a rush is when a whole bunch of people just start to come in at once and you guys get like a really packed line. And yeah, so basically I couldn't just hop on. It was about to turn 8 o'clock. My phone was in the back charging because it was about to die, so it was charging in the back. And we had gotten a rush, so I couldn't just hop off the line. I had to wait until the rush was over. And I left. I don't really make big stuff, but I left. And so I ran to the back, I grabbed my phone, and I quickly headed out the door. And as I was going to the back, the Uber driver was calling me, you know, telling me like, oh, I'm here and whatever. And I went outside. And obviously I can't see because it's really pitch black, so, but I can see because the cars are driving past. And so I came out and immediately, it was like a really nice car. It was a black Mercedes-Benz. It was really nice. And I opened the door and I was like, ooh, he got some nice red seats. So the minute I got in the car, he said hello, and then I sat down and I closed the door. And immediately, the guy starts going off on me. Like, he literally started yelling at me. He was like, I've been waiting 15 minutes. Mind you, it was 5. It was only 5. The rush only lasted for about 5 minutes. So, he was like, oh, I've been waiting for 15 minutes. And yeah, he was like, I've been waiting for 15 minutes. You're taking a long time. And I was like, excuse me, Sir Trancelot. I can't just leave in the middle of a rush. And I explained that to him, and he was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And so immediately then I felt like something was wrong, but like I needed to ride home, so I kind of wasn't thinking. And we drive out. When you drive out of the, parking lot at the restaurant, to my house, you turn like right immediately, and he turned left. And to the left was literally nothing but woods. I'm talking like back roads, dark woods, pitch black outside. And I'm like, he immediately turns left, and I was in my phone, and then when I realized he turned left, I'm like, excuse me, sir, you're going the wrong way. And he was ignoring me. So I'm like, excuse me, you're going the wrong way, hello. And then when he realized I was getting like loud, he was like, oh, GPS is going a different way. So I feel like something's off. And so then I called my mom, but then and she didn't answer. And I realized, oh my God, they're still at the water park. It doesn't close until an hour after 8. So I tried, she didn't answer, and so I immediately called one of my friends, and she didn't answer. So then I called one of my other friends that I worked with, who was off, and so I called her, and she answered, and I was texting her what was happening. And then while on the phone with her, we were just talking about random stuff so the Uber driver didn't get suspicious. And then he made a different turn while driving through the wrong way in the first place. He made a different turn, so immediately I'm like, hello, what address do you have? I'm like, excuse me, what address do you have? So I immediately start going on my phone to make sure I put in my right address. And then he was ignoring me, so then I started getting loud. I'm like, what address do you have? Hello, like, excuse me. And then he was still ignoring me, and so I immediately got scared. I started sharing my location to my friend, and then I was like, excuse me, sir, what address do you have? And then I started to tell my friend what was going on, because I started to get nervous and I started to panic. I started to get really scared. So I was on my phone, I was telling her, I was already on the phone with her, but I was texting her what was happening behind the scenes. Like, you know when you talk to someone and you're texting them at the same time, but you're talking about something different because you don't want anyone around to hear? That's what we were doing. And so I shared my location with her. I was sharing my location the entire time because I started to get nervous. And then I started to speak out loud about he was going the wrong way, he's turning different ways. And then when I started to say it out loud is when the guy, first of all, he looked really creepy. First off, he looked weird. Yeah, he looked like, I don't want to be rude, and I don't want to say they have a specific look because that would be rude, but he looked off. Like, he didn't look, like, he looked like a serial killer. It's probably not the next thing to say, but, so I was telling her what was happening. I started saying it out loud, and then the guy started to answer my questions. And he started to answer my questions, and then he was like, oh, it's on the GPS. And then I looked over, and then that's when I realized his phone was there. And so I looked over, and then at his phone, and then I was like, oh, okay, well, your GPS says to go this way. And then he was like, oh yeah, I see on the GPS, now I see on the GPS. And when I was talking, and then when I started to say it to my friend out loud and talk to her on the phone about what was going on, is when he decided to answer my questions, and he was going ways that I recognized. I was getting really scared and nervous. He wasn't, because before that he wasn't answering me. He was being really rude. He wasn't listening to me. I had to practically yell things at him for him to respond or for him to say anything at all. And that's what really like triggered me, like scared me, and like immediately I got into defense mode. I was like, okay, this guy's trying to kidnap me. Let's go. So when like before the guy started answering my questions and like he wasn't answering me, I was immediately looking around for things I hit him with. I know it's bad, but I just got into defense mode. I was looking for things I could use to attack him with, like if he was trying to like do some sketchy stuff. And so I was like, I got really scared. I was like looking around. So yeah, and then when I started telling my friend, so back to the story, when I started to tell my friend what was happening out loud and say it while he can hear me and shared my location with her, is when he started to answer my questions and he got calm. Like he was completely calm. Like before he was rude, like when I got in the car he was rude, and then when I started to tell my friend what was going on and say he was going the wrong way and I was sharing my location with her, he was calm, he was answering me, and he started to go ways I recognized, and I'm like, it made me really scared, because like immediately in my mind I was thinking, oh my god, you never think it will happen to you, you never think this is gonna happen to you. And I started to think, oh my god, I'm gonna get kidnapped. I started to go like, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna get kidnapped. I started to get really paranoid, and I tend to do that in a lot of situations when things are going weird or like stressful situations are happening. I always tend to think the negative and get paranoid. I do know that I do that. A lot of people tell me that I do that. But yeah, so when I was on the phone with my friend and I was telling her what was happening, she was like, oh, let me know any signs you see. She was like, let me know any kind of signs you see. Let me know when you see any street signs, any kind of billboard signs, anything at all. My mom will come get you, let me know. And she was just like, my mom will come get you, let me know any kind of signs you see. Keep telling me what signs you see. And I shared with her my location so she can see where I was going. Like, I shared my location. I had never shared my location before, so I kind of didn't know really how, well, share my location, clearly you're telling someone where you are, but they had to like share my locations. They had like, I think, like where you are right now and like to follow you. I don't know, I didn't really know how it works, but I just shared my location because I seen it and I was like, oh my god, share my location, using it. So, that's what I did. But yeah, she was really helpful. She stayed on the phone with me the entire time until I got back home. And when I got into my community, like to drive into my community, you have to have a card to get in the community. You have to have a registered card that you swipe out the thing and it gives you access. And so the guy, the man, I was still on the phone with my friend. I was on the phone with her the whole time. Mind you, my phone didn't really charge much because my phone was dying while I was at the job, and it was dying. So thankfully they had like an iPhone charger in the back that I could use. And so my phone wasn't all the way charged up. And my phone was only like, when I was going into my community, my phone was on literally 1%. And when I was on the phone with her the entire time, I was on FaceTime with her, but we started to get like a bad signal because we were in the back roads. So like it kept cutting out, it kept doing all these weird stuff. And like she regularly called me and it was working. And that's basically, yeah. But when I was on the phone with her, my phone was on about maybe 5%. 5%, by the time I had gotten into my community, it was about 1%. I was still shaking. I was like, okay, we're going into my community. I don't care. I'm still scared. I stayed on the phone with her literally until he dropped me off at my doorstep. And when I got inside, I locked all my doors. I locked the sliding glass door in the back. I locked everything. I was still scared. But she stayed on the phone with me the entire time. I'm really grateful for her. My mom wasn't answering because she was busy. And I was just like, you know, I was really, when I got home, I had texted my mom like, hey, Uber driver's going a different way, and I did send my mom my location of where I was, but she didn't answer because she was in the water park, and so she didn't have her phone. But like when she had gotten out, she was like, "Did you get home?" Because I forgot to text her, so my mom started to panic. And I texted her, "Yeah, I got home. Sorry, I forgot to text you." And yeah, I was literally scared. That Uber driver was so sketchy. He looked sketchy. He was acting sketchy. From the minute I sat down in his car and he started to go off on me about me being 15 minutes late when it was literally only 5, and it's because we had a rush. Yeah, from that moment is when like I got, you know, like I was feeling kind of weird and off. And then immediately when he made that very first wrong turn, literally out of the parking lot, I started to get scared. I got into defense mode. I was literally going crazy. But yeah, so I always be safe. Like if you feel like something's off, something's wrong, call someone. Do anything you can to let people know where you are. Anyone, your mom, friend, literally anyone, because I mean you do never know. There are a lot of stories out there about Uber drivers attempting to kidnap someone, kidnapping someone. You know, just always be safe. Always take precautionary measures. Always do what you need to do, because you just never know. You never think it will happen to you until it does. And you know, like, I do know there are certain things I could have done differently in this specific situation, but I did call my friend. I shared my location. I let my mom and my friend know where I was with my location and things like that. But you never know. So you know, just be safe. And yeah, so that's one of my crazy Uber driver story times. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself here today, and if you did, please hit that red subscribe button. Make sure you guys leave a like down below. Comment anything in the comment section. Share any stories if they happened to you, or you know, anything I could have done differently in the situation. Just literally anything. And also hit the notification bell to be notified every single time I upload a brand new video. I love you guys so much, and thank you guys for watching today's video. Joey